Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Education Platform. Now, before we begin with all the lessons we have for you today, we are going to be reading the verse which is taken from Exodus chapter 20, verse 4 to 6. And it states that, "Do not make for yourselves images of anything in heaven, or on earth, or in the water, under the earth. Do not bow down to any idol or worship it, because I am the Lord, your God, and I tolerate no rivals. I bring punishment on those who hate me, and on their descendants down to the third and fourth generations. But I show my love to thousands of generations of those who love me and obey my laws, the word of the Lord." Now, what that verse is saying is that the earth, everything on earth, is just the images of what is up in heaven. And there are no rivals. We should only obey the only God. There is only one God. He and He alone. He is the only God who we need to worship and obey His holy name. Amen. Now, our first lesson is about the 13 colonies in America. Yeah, the 13 colonies of America, or the 12 or the 13 colonies of America are Rhode Island, Georgia, New England, the New Hemisphere, Virginia, Jamestown, Pennsylvania, the Massachusetts, and New Jersey. Well, on the map of the United States, the 12 to the 13 colonies. No, no. The 13 colonies are at the top of America, of on the tip of where America connects with Canada. Our next lesson is about tennis. Now, what is tennis? Okay. Now, tennis is the type of sport. Tennis is the type of sport that is played with a tennis racket and a ball. Now, when hitting the ball with the racket, your eyes need to detect on which direction the ball is going to hit. Then then you have to make sure your racket is in the right position of where it meets the ball. Okay. Okay. Now our next our next lesson is based on the types of families. There are a lot of different types of families. The first family we're going to talk about is there are types of families such as the foster care family, a blended family, a nuclear family, and an extended family. First, we're going to talk about foster care. What is a foster care family? A foster care family is a temporary service provided by states for children who cannot live with their families. Next is a nuclear family. A nuclear family is a family group consisted of parents and their children typically living in one home residence. Next is a blended family. A blended family is a family consisting of a couple and their children from this and all previous relationships. Now, last is an extended family. An extended family is a family that consists beyond the nuclear family, including grandparents, aunts, uncles, or any other relatives, or who are nearby or in another household, or one household. Now, Next, Derek's going to be telling you the parts of the cell phone.
Alright, the parts of a cell phone. The parts of a cell phone are the lens and the power button.
And the software in the software, the triangle icon allows you to go back. The circle icon allows you to go back to your home screen. And the square button allows you to see the screens of the previous apps that you've been on. Now, our next lesson is about the 50 states in America. Before America had 50 states, the 13 colonies also came in. Now, the 50 states in America. The 50 states of America are Washington, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho, Oregon, California, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, also Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, Delaware, also the other colonies, which are the Rhode Island, Connecticut, the Massachusetts, the New Hampshire, the Maine, also New York, and Virginia, North and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, and Arkansas, and much more and beyond. Now, our next lesson is about Cuba. Now, what we know about Cuba, Cuba is a Hispanic country that is located in the Caribbean Sea. Cuba is located where the North Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico and Atlantic Ocean meet. There are many other places in Cuba which you can explore, which we'll talk about the next live stream. Our next lesson is about James Monroe, the 5th President of the United States. As we're having some minor technical difficulties, our next lesson is about the food around the world, which we have a video of. Now, as we learn from the video, many different foods came from many different countries. Like for example, in the community post, I posted where did sushi originally come from? From which country? One person voted for Japan, and that was correct. Sushi did come from Japan. Now our next lesson is how to bake a cake. Baking a cake is easy as long as you have all the right ingredients. Now, to bake a cake, you need the following ingredients. The ingredients needed are flour, eggs, butter, sugar, salt, milk, also some baking soda. Now, we're gonna be reading you a second verse which is taken from Psalms 105. And it states that give thanks to the Lord and call out to him. Tell the nations what he has done. Sing to him, sing praises to him. Tell about the amazing things he has done. Be proud of his holy name, the word of the Lord. Now, what that verse is saying is that we need to give thanks to the Lord because he has done so much for us. He's done so much for a lot of people who praise his holy name. Thanks to the Lord, all of us wouldn't be living on earth. We also have to be thankful for God, for the Lord, for healing us from the pain and sickness that we've been going through. We've been going through a short time or a long time. It's tough. It's tough for many people. But with the Lord, He can make anything possible. Now, our next lesson is about programming languages, which there will be citing.
Programming languages. What are programming languages? A programming language is a way for programmers, developers, to communicate with computers.
And next is the software of a computer. Now, the types of software on a computer. Now, the types of software on a computer, there are lots of different websites, and there's also a lot of different software on a computer, like a camera. There's also like a calendar. There's also many other types of software that also can be found on a phone, such as like Anydesk or like Filmora or any other video editing software. There's also WhatsApp, the WhatsApp desktop. There's also File Explorer and Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer. Now, 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 to end this lesson, we're going to be reading you the Give Me Liberty or Give Me a Death speech, which is taken from Patrick Henry in 1775. Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death speech by Patrick Henry in 1775.
On March 23rd, 1775, Patrick Henry delivered his rousing speech to the Virginia House of Burgesses, including future U.S. Presidents George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, at St. John's Church. His speech convinced at the colony of Virginia to organize a militia to fight against British tyranny.
Mr. President, it is natural to men to indulge in the illusions of hope. We are apt to shut our eyes against a painful truth and listen to the song of that siren, till she transforms us into beasts. Is this part of wise men engaged in great and arduous struggle for liberty? We are disposed to be the number of those who, having eyes, see not, and having ears, hear not, the things which so nearly concern their temporal salvation. For my part, whatever anguish of spirit it may cost, I am willing to know the whole truth, to know the worst, and to provide for it.
I have but one lamp by which my feet are guided, and that is the lamp of experience. I know of no way of judging with the future but by the past. And by judging the past, I wish to know that there is what there has been in the conduct of British ministry for the last 10 years. To justify those hopes which gentlemen have been pleased to solace themselves in the House, is that not insidious law, with our petition, has been lately received. Trust it not, sir. It will prove a snare to your feet. Suffer not yourself to be betrayed with a kiss. Ask yourselves how this gracious reception of our petition comports with
Comport with those warlike preparations which cover our waters and darken our land, our fleets and armies necessary to a work of love and reconciliation. Have we shown ourselves so unwilling to be reconciled that force must be called in to win back our love? Let us not deceive ourselves, sir. These are the implements of war and subjugation, the last arguments to which kings resort. I ask gentlemen, sir, what means this martial array? If its purpose be not to force us to submission, can gentlemen assign any other possible motive for it? Has Great Britain any enemy in this quarter of the world to call for all this accumulation of navies and armies? No, sir, he has none. They are meant for us. They can be meant for no British ministry have been so long forging. And what have we to oppose them? Shall we try argument, sir? We have been trying for that for the last 10 years. Have we anything new to offer upon the subject? Nothing. We have held the subject up in every light of which it is capable, but it has been an all vain. Shall we resort to entreaty and humble supplication? What terms shall we find which not have been already exhausted? Let us not, I beseech you, sir, deceive us ourselves longer. Sir, we have done everything that we could be done to avert the storm which is now coming on. We have petitioned, we have remonstrated, we have supplicated, we have prostrated ourselves before the throne, and have implored its interposition to arrest the tyrannical hands of the ministry and the parliament. Our petitions have been slighted, our remonstrances have produced an additional violence and insult. Our supplications have been disregarded, and we have been spurned with contempt from the foot of the throne. In vain, after these things, may we indulge the fond of hope and peace and reconciliation. There is no longer any room for hope. If we wish to be free, if we mean to preserve inviolate those inestimable privileges for which we have been so long contending, if we mean not basely to abandon the noble struggle in which we have been so long engaged, and which we have pledged ourselves never to abandon until the glorious object of our contest shall be obtained, we must fight. I repeat it, sir, we must fight. An appeal to arms and to the God of hosts is all that is left for us. They tell us, sir, that we are weak, unable to cope with this so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed, and when a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength in resolution and in action? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemies shall bound us hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak. If we make proper use of those means which the God of nature has placed in our power, 3 millions of people, armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us. Besides, sir, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destinies of nations, and who will raise up friends to fight our battles for us. The battle, sir, is not the strong alone. It is to be the vigilant, the active, the brave. Besides, sir, we have no election. If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat it, sir. Let it come. It is in vain, sir, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war is actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand? We're here idle. What is that gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. Now, the speech that me and Eric have read to you was talking about what it means to have freedom instead of death. We have freedom in America right now because of the three founding fathers, which are Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, and Benjamin Franklin, signing the Declaration of Independence that freed us from British and stopped America from becoming a British colony. So we should have the right to have freedom. Okay. If you like this live video, share it with your friends or your family or anyone else that is related to you or you don't know of. Also, you can message us on Messenger at Education Platform FB. And also to like and subscribe on YouTube. And make sure to like, follow, and share with us on Facebook. Thank you and have a wonderful day.